I love flaky people, said nobody ever in the entire history of the universe.
We are the happy couple. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and
hit the little bell.
Ding, ding. Don't be flaky.
No.
Just, that's the end of the video.
Thank you guys very much for watching.
No, we have some good points here. Stay tuned to the end because this is gonna be a funny one. Flakiness can come in many forms. One of the ways is a kind of sneaky one where plans are never actually committed to. It's like, oh, hey, do you wanna do this at this time? Oh yeah, that could be fun. Let's let's play it by ear.
Call me.
And you're like, play it by, now, again, life does happen, plans do change, things come up unexpectedly, and I'm not saying that I or we have never forgotten plans. But when this becomes a habit, when flakiness becomes something that you are known for,
bad juju.
You gotta change some things, peeps.
Canceling the day before or like the day of, especially if it happens all the time, sucks.
It really sucks when you're like
on the receiving end of that.
And I am the social coordinator of our relationship, so when I'm like, oh yeah, like we've got this plan, and then it just doesn't happen, and then we try to like reschedule with that person, and then it doesn't happen
again.
You start to get to like the 3rd, 4th, 10th, 15th
She's
time.
very persistent.
I like to give people the benefit of the doubt, and I really like to give people a lot of chances, but there comes a point where you start to predict that the plans aren't going to happen. That's not good.
I know some people who are notorious for this. No calls or texts. Who would say, yeah, call me. And then you call them, and then you keep calling them, and then you keep calling them, and then you show up at their house and they get a restraining order because you're standing outside their window. I'm just kidding.
We've never taken it that far.
Not yet.
We love you guys anyway.
Yep. You call and text and the person's not responding ever. It's like, okay, I know you're the most important person in the world, but at least responding to a text, which takes like 13 milliseconds, is probably a good idea. So when a person doesn't do that, at a certain point, you're like, man.
A really good one too is when there's no call or text to reconfirm. I always like, because I know flakiness happens, I'm always the one who will like reconfirm, hey, like we good for tomorrow.
You did shows for so long. She would call people and she would also follow up with them, which is really good.
Yeah, doing shows, like you get really used to the reconfirming aspect of life. So, like, hey, we still good for tomorrow, or hey, we still good for tonight, whatever. And then you don't get a text back. Then you're in this like, I think we're still on. I don't want to make other plans.
So you don't make other plans, which is really not being considerate of the other person's time.
Which is then fine if they do show up, but if they then don't show up, or like half an hour before, like, oh, sorry, something came up, then you're just like, real feels.
When you call them to be like, hey, we're still on, yeah? And then they tell you, oh, you know what? Yeah, I was told yesterday, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, cool. I had to call you to find out that you weren't. It wasn't even like the courtesy on it. Yeah. Don't be that guy. Don't be that person.
If you know that a plan is being canceled,
just tell them.
Call and be like, hey, something came up. That's okay.
Yeah. It's not hard to do.
I live my life by my calendar. Like, I put everything on that thing and it's color coded and it's gorgeous and it's just the most beautiful thing. So I find it absolutely incredible and mind-boggling, truly mind-blowing, when someone consistently, again, not like once, but consistently forgets plans. I'm like, you have a phone that can set reminders, you have automated computerized calendars, you have paper and pen, you have your hand to write notes. Like, there are so many ways to keep track of appointments. How do you just not remember? Like, if you know that you forget things, write it down. It's just nice.
A person who double books constantly. See, what you're gonna notice is this happening every so often is like, okay, we can kind of give you a pass. When it starts to happen a lot, you're like, okay, you need to change something about your life, or guy, just tell me you don't want to see me or don't want to hang out, because that's okay. Let me move on with my life. Let me move on. And see, I have less patience for it than she does, which is why she's our social coordinator, because
it's true. And then there's just the no-show. Like, you make plans and then just don't show up.
That's basically all we have to say about that one. Simple solution, don't be this person.
Get that calendar. Write your appointments in it and keep them. If you found this video funny, entertaining, helpful, delightful, or just plain old silly, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends.
See you guys in the next one.